And welcome back to another episode of the Baseline Bums podcast. It's your host, Rob, aka B-Ball Archives. And once again, I got the bums up in the casa, usually after a Spurs victory as of late. But we got a special episode today because tomorrow the NCAA tournament starts and we can officially get mad for March Madness. I am just through the roof whenever this time of the year comes around because the first couple days of the tournament, it is just basketball all day long, and I can just unapologetically glue myself to the couch and just watch the first round matchups just pop off. But guys, we're gonna go through the whole bracket today. Are you guys excited about it?
1000%.
I'm never more excited and happy than I am in March. So I've been waiting for this all year long.
Yeah, man, this is your hard work like paying off like right now. This is no pressure. Just if you don't have a perfect bracket, then like Project Nomad was kind of a bust. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, to be fair, only 14 of the teams that I watched made the March Madness tournament. So I'm missing there's a whole bunch of information up here that's just useless now.
That is hilarious. But yeah,
we got a long episode. So grab your popcorn, grab a Snickers and a cigarette. We're gonna be here a while, so we're gonna get to all the games and we're gonna come to a consensus. I guess we'll go 2-1 if it comes down to it. But for the most part, dude, let's just dive right on into it.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned it. And that's why it's absolutely crucial to have three people on for the tournament episode because you got to have a vote. And if it's 2-1 and it comes down to just one person feels a certain way about a team, then, you gotta act accordingly. So, that being said, let's just peel the top off of this and just dive on in. So we're going to start with the East portion of the tournament. So first round matchups, we got Duke versus Siena. I mean, this is going to be burnt Siena, right?
Yeah. I think we're writing off Siena a little bit too quick here. Best player, best team. Yeah, Duke's moving on.
Yeah, Duke, easily.
Yeah, we got the Dukies moving on. Interesting matchup, Ohio State, TCU. How are we feeling about this, guys?
This one's an interesting one because I'm very bullish on the Big 12. I'm very bullish on the Big 12. I think the Big 12 is the best conference when it comes to basketball. If you pick Big 12 teams to ride you on these games, then I think that's a really good choice. However, my only concern in all of that is Ohio's had one hell of a basketball season. And in just the state of Ohio, not just Ohio State, but Akron, Miami, Ohio, it's a definitely basketball state. So this one, I'm gonna lean to TCU, but I'm also very much nervous about Ohio teams just in general this year.
I'm also leaning TCU. They're on an incredible run right now. March Madness is about getting hot at the right moment. Shout out to Ohio State. Shout out to Bruce Thornton finally getting his March Madness moment after 4 years with nothing to show for it. Really excited to see how he performs. I do think the Horned Frogs get this one, though.
Yeah, I was going to slightly take TCU in this matchup as well. And you hit the nail on the head, Austin. It's not about necessarily the talent of your team, but it's the momentum you have going into the tournament. And it just seems like they're going to have that there. So, all right, we got TCU advancing. Nice. I like it. Then we got St. John's versus Northern Iowa. How are we feeling about this one, gents?
Hair slicked back like Rick Pitino.
Yeah. Johnny's?
Yep.
Yeah, there's not much to talk about here. Rick Pitino is one of the greatest of all time. So,
yeah, I mean, Johnny's are such a smash mouth basketball team. I feel like it's tough for me to always bet on how good those teams are defensively, or bet against them. I mean,
it wouldn't surprise me if Northern Iowa hits a last minute buzzer beater and they're in a grind it, but also wouldn't surprise me if St. John's blows them out too. So we'll see.
Yeah, well, I think that St. John's, this is the least susceptible 12-5 upset out of the four. I think this is the safest one that we could lock in.
That's a good point. As much as I hate to say that, because we're going to get to the Texas Tech matchup later, I would have to agree. All right, so we got the Johnnies going over Northern Iowa, and how are we feeling about the next matchup? We got Kansas.
Rock chalk.
Yeah,
Yep.
I mean Kansas. Yeah, I mean Darren Peterson, one of the best players on in the country right now. I mean, a lot of people are saying he could go 1, maybe 2 in the draft. So, do you think that Kansas could get snagged?
Respectfully, to Cal Baptist, Darren Peterson could play 8 minutes in this game, and I still think they walk away with it. So,
yeah, fair enough. Yeah,
fair enough.
So we got Kansas advancing. Seems pretty routine there. All right, and we got Louisville, South Florida.
This one, I'm kind of going to defer to you guys. My gut tells me South Florida, but also I know nothing about these teams.
South Florida just won the American Conference tournament, so they're riding pretty high on momentum. And Louisville's arguably best player, McKenna Brown, is rolled out for at least the first round. So I think I'm also leaning South Florida.
South Florida.
Yeah, I agree with that. I feel like South Florida also just has just athletes and good depth that are always just built for the tournament, and just however you slice it, they usually just give some good effort in the tournament. So South Florida. All right, sounds good, especially for a team I've maybe watched once all year long.
More than me.
You're right.
And probably most of the people filling out brackets.
Well, I mean, dude, I'm a college basketball sicko at times, and I feel like some of these teams, I still know nothing about some of these teams. So yeah,
Fair.
I don't know how people have this like deep dive knowledge on some of these, like like Kennesaw State. Like what are we doing here with some of these teams, really?
Dude,
but
don't get me started.
But we will get
there.
there. Yeah, we will certainly get there. Okay, so we have South Florida over Louisville. That is technically our first upset. Oh, I guess TCU technically was our first upset, but 8-9, not really really drastic. Well, okay, so now we're moving on to Michigan State versus North Dakota State.
Tom Izzo in March. Not going to bet against them. So
nope.
Yep. Yeah, I think we all went there. Like, yeah, Tom Izzo just has all the experience in the world in March. We're not
Tom to the Izzo.
Yeah, that's Tom to the Izzo. All right, interesting 10-7 matchup right here. UCLA versus Central Florida.
I've seen UCF play ball. They're a really good team. They beat Tech when we had JT Toppin. So, I mean, for me, I know UCLA is good this year, but I just think being in the Big 12 is such a gauntlet that I think UCF can catch UCLA off guard because they're very athletic. And when they're on defensively, it's hard to score on them.
Counter argument, WVU beat UCF twice, and we didn't belong in this tournament at all. Also, Donovan Dan is on a pretty big run for UCLA right now.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah, honestly, I was kind of split at this, but like I just view UCF as I don't view them as the same team that beat us earlier on in the season, but I think it's tough for me to go against them, but at the same time, I got to go with round ball. I think UCLA moves on in this.
I was on a pod the other day. Shout out to Eamon Castles and the Castles Cast. We were doing something similar, and I went on a little bit of a tirade calling UCF frauds, which I still stand by, but I'm a little less harsh about it now because ultimately it's not their fault the selection committee put them in. So
that's a good point.
Yeah. All right. Interesting 10-7 matchup right there. We got UCLA moving on. All right. We got UConn Furman.
Give me UConn.
Yep. Give me UConn. Are you feeling Furman over there, Austin?
No, I am not. No, lock me in for Dan Hurley.
All right, there we go. All right, so that wraps up first round in the East. Moving on to the South, first round.
South.
Yeah, are we? I mean, obviously this 16 round matchup has not happened yet. How are we feeling about this?
I think Florida's just gonna.
Yeah.
That Florida.
Yeah, whoever.
It doesn't matter who.
Right. Whoever, Florida. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. This is not as good of a team as it was last year. Obviously, to borrow a phrase from Rick Pitino, Walter Clayton Jr. is not walking through that door. But structurally, the skeleton of this team is still good enough to get past the first round.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. You got enough pieces returning, enough size and physicality. Yeah, you're going to be able to beat up on a lot of these small teams. Agreed. All right. Another 8-9 matchup Clemson, Iowa. How are we
This was
feeling about
probably
this?
the most difficult 8-9 matchup for me to decide because it's just the battle of mids. Like there is nothing that either of these teams have that separate them. Like neither of them are fantastic shooters or are really dominant inside. So it's really honestly just a toss up. I went with Clemson because I believe more in the middle of the pack ACC teams than I do middle of the pack
That's a good
Big Ten
point.
teams.
I like that.
Yeah. I mean, sound reasoning. You know what? I don't think I've watched either of these teams really play a lot of basketball, so I'm going to defer to your judgment. So we got Clemson moving on. All right. Okay, so Vanderbilt McNeese. McNeese.
Aura.
I was gonna say McNeese was one of the more fun teams to watch last year. Are we gonna see some more of that this year? Not the
I
manager, of
personally
course.
have them. I personally have them upsetting Vanderbilt
Yes.
because over the last 12, 13 games for Vanderbilt, even though we just saw them in the Big Ten championship game, they have been so inconsistent. Their wins look like they're the best team in the country. Their losses look like they belong in the NIT tournament. So because of that inconsistency, I think McNeese can take advantage of that.
And then also, this is basically the same squad from NC State last year. So like the coach and like I think the entire starting five moved over to McNeese too with the one and only Oracan. So he's gonna come out with his boombox and it's gonna be a vibe. And shout out to him for making NIL money from that. So give me McNeese all the way to the Final Four.
Whoa, hold on a second. We got them beating Vandy. Let's just take it one round at a time. All right. We've got Nebraska, Troy next. Now, neither of these teams have ever won an NCAA tournament game. So this is going to be an interesting matchup right here. Nebraska or Troy? Is this upset territory?
I personally don't have a double upset here for the 12-5 and the 13-4. I think March Madness sometimes is about being written in the stars. I'm actually pretty sure Written in the Stars was a March Madness theme song at one point. Nebraska ball has swept the nation. They were so good at the beginning of the season, and they faltered over the last 12, but it really just feels like it's time for them to get their first tournament win.
Yep.
Yeah.
I agree. Give me Big Red.
Yeah.
And Barbacoa.
Yeah, seriously. That's that's a good pick and roll option right there. Is Barbacoa and Big Red, dude. That's a hell of a dynamic duo. All right. So next up in the South, we've got North Carolina versus VCU. How are we feeling about this one?
I don't trust the Tar Heels. I don't know why. I just can't. I don't trust them this year. But
Caleb Wilson's not going to play either. So
say it again.
Caleb Wilson's not going to play either.
Right. He's out. So VCU, yeah, definitely give me VCU in that opinion. That case.
Yeah, that's where I was leaning towards as well. And they can shoot the hell out of the basketball. And I feel like if they have one of those games, then UNC is going to be in trouble. And yeah, no Williams. That's a recipe for disaster. So we're taking VCU on the upset. I like it. So North Carolina,
you didn't even hesitate too. That's some interesting ball knowledge,
dude. I like it, and I was right. And I even wrote down this question. It was like Kentucky, UNC, both 134 all-time tournament wins. Who's going to extend their lead and maybe come out on top? And we as a podcast have determined it will not be UNC. So I like that. All right, so VCU moving on, and we've got Illinois versus Penn next. Ooh,
dude, I wish so bad that Penn could have gotten a better matchup for somebody else. I watched them in the Ivy League championship game, and they're so good. They took down a really talented Yale team.
Yale.
I wish so badly for them to have literally played anybody else. But this Illinois team is so good and so deep and can shoot the shit out of the ball. This is going to be a bloodbath.
Yeah.
I got Illinois as well.
Yeah, I think it'll be a close game, but Illinois, that checks out. Illinois getting that dub. All right, moving on to the 10-7 matchup in the South. We've got St. Mary's versus Texas A&M.
I want you to give me your reasoning that doesn't involve Texas A&M slander.
Well, Patty Mills went to St. Mary's.
I like St. Mary. No, honestly, yeah, I don't. Honestly, I can't think of any good ones, but fuck A&M.
Honestly, for me, it's just I don't trust SEC teams, and if you're middle of the pack or even lower, I think SEC is overrated this year. They're like the talking heads just basically carry the momentum from football to basketball. So, like for me, I don't trust the SEC. I don't think they're good. I think the top teams are great, but I don't think any of them can hold a candle to what's going on in the Big 12. So with that, I think St. Mary's is just a really good squad. So I'm going to go St. Mary's, and that's why. But also, I agree. I do not like A&M.
Yeah.
My general rule is I will always side with a good mid-major team over a mediocre Power 5 team.
Yeah.
Will that be my downfall this year? Potentially. But if that's the sword that I have to fall on, so be it.
Yeah.
Fair enough. All right. So we've got St. Mary's moving on.
Yep.
Let's do it. All right. And then we've got Houston, Idaho. This is a great matchup right here. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Give me Houston.
Now, this Vandal squad is a little underrated, in my opinion.
Are they?
No, like they're fine. They are a perfectly fine basketball team. The problem is that Kelvin Sampson and Emmanuel Sharp and Kingston Flemings are way too good for this team to go anywhere else. This is going to be a drumming.
Shout out to Kingston for being from San Antonio.
Yep. All right. Moving on to the other side of the bracket. We got the West coming up. Arizona, Long Island.
Give me the Cats.
Hands up, baby.
Yep. Wildcats moving on right there. All right. This is
all right, 2-1. That's fine.
Well, I mean, it's a vote.
Like Bryce James might play this game. Just throwing that out there.
Ooh, you know what? There we go. My opinion has been swayed. Are we feeling Villanova or Utah State for this next matchup?
This is where you two are probably going to have to talk me off of a ledge. I really believe in this Utah State team, not for like any crazy like Elite 8 run. They are really talented. They are really dominant inside, great physical presence. And kind of what I said with the St. Mary's Texas A&M matchup, I'm going to pick a good mid-major team over a mediocre Power 5. And as much as I love Caden Lewis and Villanova, they're just not a good team. They're fine, just not great.
Yeah. I mean, that makes sense. I mean, Villanova's usually a really consistent basketball team, but the couple times I've watched them this season, they haven't really jumped off the screen to me. And I haven't watched any Utah State, so I don't know. I don't really feel strongly about Villanova, but
you're depriving yourself of good basketball.
Well, I mean, I just can't watch every team, Austin. I can't watch every team.
You just have to start with every conference, and then you work in your way into every team.
Right. I'll do my own version of the Nomad at some point. Well,
I'm down with you, Austin. I'm down to do Utah State. In the clips that I've seen, they seem like a good squad, and I have my own things about Villanova. So,
yeah. All right. Well, then you know what? I'm talked into it. We're going Utah State. All right. Moving on. We've got Wisconsin versus High Point. My goodness, High Point can shoot the hell out of the ball. They always can. I feel like anytime I watch a High Point game, they're just really, really good ball movement coming off of screens, just a bunch of really good informed shooting. And man, they going to beat Wisconsin?
No.
This potentially has the opportunity to be the best first round matchup just because both teams can get so hot. I also saw somebody on Twitter say that Wisconsin is the most clear example of either flaming out in the first round or going all the way to the Final Four, and there's like no difference between the two. That being said, I am going to take the slight edge to Wisconsin. I don't. The 3-point shooting is cool. I love a mid major. That's kind of like my whole brand now. It's really difficult for me to pick that, you know.
So you got Wisconsin?
Yeah, Wisconsin.
I'm gonna go Wisconsin too. I think they just had a really good season, and it's one of those like one year Wisconsin's bad, next year Wisconsin's good type thing. And I think this is just the year they get the NCAA tournament win.
Yeah, that makes all the sense in the world. We got Wisconsin moving on. All right. So next matchup, Arkansas, Hawaii. How are we feeling about this, gentlemen?
First of all, shout out to Hawaii for making the tournament. And I think that's because of Patty Mills being the general manager. I think that helps a lot. So again, we're going to mention Patty Mills as many times as we can on this podcast. But for this one, give me Arkansas. They're just too good.
Yeah, on a great run right now.
Yeah, A-Cuff, absolutely balling. It's tough to argue with that level of offense right now. Okay, we got Arkansas moving on. Next, little AJ DeBansa and BYU coming at Texas.
Yeah, I'm going BYU mostly because in tournaments like this, stars shine, and AJ is a star. He led the nation in scoring. He's going to have 20 points, and there's nothing like watching UT and NC State last night. I'm like, my God, they're going to dog walk UT.
He's really done a great job after Richie Saunders stepped up as well.
Yeah.
That's a good call. Yep. BYU. I mean, it's the tournament's about star players. It's about who do you have that can rise to the occasion. And you know, when you got a guy like AJ DeBansa, I think he's primed for a huge tournament.
He's gonna go first, right? Like for sure.
It would shock me if anybody took anyone else first. It really would.
What if he stays one more year? This is one of those situations where like NIL could really play a factor in someone staying and going, and kind of that you know, easy choice a few years ago is now like well, I could go to the NBA, but I could also make 15 mil at BYU still. So,
I think we saw that happen with Jacob Toppin this past year.
Yeah. Well, he might even come back again. We'll see.
Yeah, it might be the correct move. All right, but we got a lot more bracket to get to. So Gonzaga, Kennesaw State.
Zags.
Yeah. Even though I haven't believed in the Zags a lot recently. Zags for sure. All right. Next matchup, we got Miami, Missouri.
Give me Missouri. And here's why. This game is in St. Louis. Yeah, that's it. This game is in St. Louis. It's literally a home game for Missouri. This is like a home game for Missouri. So I'm going to go Missouri.
Yeah, sometimes just having the fans makes all the difference in the world.
I'm personally leaning Miami because they remind me a lot of TCU getting really hot at the end of the season and riding that wave. So home crowd advantage be damned. I have Miami. So this is going to have to be another split decision.
Oh, man. I got to make the decision.
Yeah, Rob, you got it.
Oh, man. Well, I'm going to be honest. I've only watched Missouri play. I have not watched Miami play. So
you watch Missouri play on purpose?
Well, there's yes. Long story short, yes.
Like they're playing Florida. Calm down.
Yeah, it's more so I was watching another game and they just happened to be playing right afterwards. But at the same time, I think I'm going to agree with you, Austin. I did not like what I saw from Missouri the little bit I did watch them. So I think if Miami is trending in the right direction, then they're probably going to beat that Missouri team. But that is a good point, though, AJ. The fans could make a difference. Then we got Purdue versus I Am Queens Boulevard.
Give me Purdue.
I do want to say that this Queens team is really good. Featured them on Project Nomad. Not Purdue good, but still very good. Shout out to Avante Parker.
If anyone's gonna shit the bed though, it's gonna be Purdue.
I mean, yeah, from where they were at the beginning of the season, where everyone thought they were going to be, they fell off of a cliff. But I still feel like this is a really, really good basketball team, and
they're huge.
And Braden Smith is a very good facilitator who can set up the offense better than pretty much anyone in the nation. So let's not count them out. But yes, I agree. That rounds out the West, and then we got to get to the Midwest now. The last portion of the first round, we've got Michigan versus Howard.
U of M.
Yeah.
Yeah, I won't say go Big Blue, but
you just did.
Yeah, you did.
I'm lower on them than a lot of my peers. They're not going to get upset by Howard, though.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. All right, interesting. Georgia St. Louis matchup.
These 8-9 matchups are good, and dude, this one I think is going to be a great game. I'm just really excited. What's the dude on St. Louis's name? Abdul.
Yeah,
Abdul.
Yeah, dude, he's a fun player to watch. He's got aura. He hits shots. He's a good 3-point shooter. Yeah,
he is fun. It should be noted that as of 5 days ago, he was not practicing because of plantar fasciitis. So his game time decision could be up in the air.
Okay.
The mind games.
Well, I mean,
I don't think that Georgia's great, but I think they're good enough to beat this team without Robbie for sure.
Okay. Interesting. Man, I didn't know about the plantar fasciitis. Man, I still feel like he powers through and plays this game, and St. Louis gets this dub. I don't know. I mean, I'm feeling good about it, but at the same time, yeah, I just don't know much about Georgia.
If we're all down to ride the mid-major train, I'm for it.
Hey, okay, let me ask you this. Before the game on the 19th, do we know if any Georgia players will be driving around like in a Dodge Charger?
I think it's just their football players. I don't think it transfers to basketball.
You'll be surprised.
Well, and Georgia doesn't have a lot of tournament success, so like I don't really view Georgia as this big major school that's going to come in and beat up on St. Louis. I mean, they got the athletes to do it, but I don't know.
Well, same as A&M. Like if you're just an average like SEC team, I just don't think I think you're good, but yeah, give me St. Louis. They can win a game. Why not?
Yeah, give me St. Louis. Let's go ahead and ride the Kareem Abdul-Jabbar train. All right, and then we got the matchup we want to really talk about. We got Texas Tech versus Akron over here. Texas Tech not necessarily trending in the right direction. We are really missing JT Toppin right now. We're 3-3 without him. How are you feeling about this matchup, guys?
I think Christian Anderson wills us to victory, but like I said when we started with Ohio State, the state of Ohio scares me, and Akron's in that state of Ohio. And I know they can shoot. They're not big, so that helps with what our situation right now. But we're going to have to shoot lights out in order to beat them. And I think Christian Anderson goes for 30, and I think that's going to put Texas Tech over the edge.
I don't think my vote necessarily matters here, but let me play devil's advocate for a second and give you some reasons as to why this could be an upset. The Zips are very good. Like you said, Ohio runs basketball right now. Fantastic three-point shooters. They are also great defensively, especially on the perimeter. They have 3 guys that all play like 25, 27 minutes a game that combined average 6 steals a game that can make Christian Anderson's life pretty difficult.
Yeah.
And because it's not like he has lost a backup point guard. You lost a potential national player of the year candidate. You lost an All-American. Like that's a huge hole to fill.
Yeah.
So
safety net.
For this podcast, we'll go with Texas Tech, obviously. This could be a really interesting game, though.
Oh, yeah.
Out of all your brackets, Austin, how many do you have Tech going, and how many do you have Akron going?
So no bullshit. I have 12 brackets, and in 8 of them, I have the Zips going.
Fair enough. That is that's a little hard to hear, but at the same time,
you're off right now. I'm sorry, a little fuzzy. I think we just cut it out.
If you don't invite me back, totally understand. But I watched the MAC.
But honestly, Austin, you're 100% right. Like, I am not thrilled about this Texas Tech team. Like, I am just going off of just me being like just kind of one of those. I'm hoping for the best. I'm just hoping for the best because everything that I've seen, like literally, like if Christian Anderson does not carry this team, they're going to be running in mud. And no JT Toppin, that really hurts. Like that's your safety net. So when the clock's going down, you don't know what to do. You throw it down to JT Toppin, little baby hook's going to get you out of that mess. Watts is not the guy. He's just not. He just has too many turnovers. But Darren Williams last year during the regular season wasn't really impressive, and then he took over in the tournament. So maybe that happens. So I'm going Tech because obviously like my heart's there, but I'm also like not going like, oh my God, like last year. Last year I was like, dude, we're riding this team to the Final Four. I don't care what anyone says. So I'm just very hesitant this year.
Yeah,
for what it's worth,
the vibes are not the same.
For what it's worth, I do think that Vanderbilt and Wisconsin are more susceptible to a 12-5 upset than you all are. You're not as secure as St. John's, but you're in better spots than they are, for sure.
Absolutely. So as a podcast, we got Texas Tech moving on. No JT Toppin, doesn't matter. They're dominating the Zips. No, I'm just kidding. This to me was one of the more interesting potential upsets. Hofstra and Alabama.
Weed-a-Bama.
Right. I was about to say when you have Aiden Holloway getting arrested for 2 pounds of weed, it's like
2 pounds of Bama.
I mean, your second leading scorer, it kind of changes things a little bit for that 13-4 matchup. So are we taking Hofstra after that news?
I'm not personally. I think that they have enough talent on their team to get over it. The off-court issues are a little unsettling, though, especially because we don't know how long this is potentially going to keep him out.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I promised one of my friends who went to Hofstra a long time ago, if they're ever in the tournament, I'm going to pick them. And I do pick them, and I'm going to pick them because, like, for Alabama. It's one of those things where like as someone who went through the thing with like Chris Beard and all this other stuff and us declining, NIT, the invite and all this other stuff, like having all those distractions going into the tournament is huge for a college team. Now granted these kids are getting paid, so maybe they handle it a little better, but also they all lost their Wheat Connect. So I think they're going to be in a different mindset moving forward. So I got Hofstra.
Yeah, I think, and whenever it's somebody that plays this much and it is a pivotal part of your rotation, I think it can change things and just alter what you're doing as a team so much that they just may not be the same exact team. So I think this is enough to where if Hofstra has a nice shooting outing, yeah, they could get that dub. So I think I'm going to go Hofstra as well. I think it's enough. It's enough to give them that edge for me.
Edge.
Yeah. So I mean, I hate to go against you, Austin, on that one, but looks like we're taking Hofstra. All right. So Hofstra advancing. Interesting. All right. So next matchup, Tennessee versus SMU.
Give me Rick Barnes.
Yeah? How are we feeling? You're the only 10 I see?
Yeah, I'm okay with Tennessee. They're 16th in KenPom ratings. It's kind of hard to – and they are one of the mediocre teams that I was talking about in the Power 5 conference. But as much as I would like for this to play out in a way, I think they're good enough to advance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rick Barnes is just a hell of a coach, and he's going to win at least one game in the tournament. You can pretty much guarantee that. I would love to see Miami of Ohio win tonight and beat Tennessee. I think that'd be a great story. And then Bruce Pearl's going to have to basically take his ball and go home. So that would be awesome. That's my heart says, but my mind says Rick Barnes is a hell of a coach. And yeah, give me Tennessee.
Yes.
Yeah, I've kind of done a
absolutely.
180 on that whole thing too, because I've been a huge advocate for Miami of Ohio. And I do think they're good, mostly because Akron in the MAC especially is a better basketball team. Every metric says so. The players are better. The reason I keep writing for Miami is because they're never rattled. They have been down in games that they should not have even been close to, and they're just cool, calm, collected, this whole thing. But now that the whole Bruce Pearl of it all has entered the fray, I just want them to win out to shut Bruce Pearl up.
Yeah.
I think we would all find that pretty satisfying, and we've had multiple dunk sessions on Bruce Pearl.
Yeah, it's just you go undefeated and someone's like, they don't deserve to be in a tournament. It's like, bro, seriously? That's insane.
I'm okay to hear
Absolutely.
that argument. Just don't say that a 16 and 14 team at the time deserves it over them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
1000%. So give me Tennessee.
Absolutely. We got Tennessee right there. Virginia and versus Wright State. Are we
I think this is a really talented Virginia team. If Duke wasn't as good as they are, I think we're talking about this Virginia team a lot more.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yep.
give me Virginia.
Yep, Virginia as well. All right, interesting matchup. Kentucky, Santa Clara. How are we feeling about this 10-7?
A little bit of a round ball lore drop for your audience here. I used to live in Lexington, Kentucky. Got to watch a lot of good basketball there. I was there for the almost undefeated season. This is not one of those teams. I want good things for Big Blue Nation. I do, but it's just really hard for me to convince myself that this team is going to advance.
They're just not. They just haven't won good games. They're just losing a lot, in my opinion. So, give me Santa Clara.
Yeah, I in the couple brackets I've filled out too, I've picked Santa Clara as well. It seems like they are the more polished basketball team that's relying less so on their resume and their name.
Go Broncos.
Yeah.
Also, the first time that they've been into the tournament since Steve Nash was enrolled. If that's not a story, I don't know what is.
That's nuts.
I'm sure they're going to hammer that whenever the game's on.
Yes.
Don't worry. They'll tell us all about it.
Did you guys know that Steve Nash went here?
Yep.
Sounds like us with Pat Mahomes. Do you know Pat Mahomes with Tech?
Everyone knows. All right. And the last matchup in the first round, Iowa State, Tennessee State.
Iowa State. They're just a hell of a team, man.
Yes.
Hell of a team.
Hell of a basketball team. All right. All right, let's move on, guys. We are finished with the first round and on our way to the second round in the East. Moving on back up to the top left, we've got Duke TCU.
Dukies.
Yeah, kind of what I said earlier. Duke's too good. Best team, best player.
Yeah, dude, Cam Boozer is ridiculous. To do everything that he can do offensively, get downhill, finish at the rim, rebound like a madman, but then also is shooting above 40% from three. It's just where
underrated facilitator too. He has everything in his bag.
Yeah, I was low on him to start the year, and I was putting both AJ and Darren Peterson over him and being like, well, Cam Boozer's maybe going to be third or fourth most interesting player in this draft. And now it's between him and AJ, between who I would rather bring to my team if I'm, being serious about building around him. So it's crazy to see where he is right now. So yeah. All right. Duke advancing. Next, St. John's versus Kansas.
Give me St. John's. This Kansas team's not past Kansas teams, and I think they can beat Cal Baptist, but I don't think they can beat St. John's.
Yeah, I'm kind of right there with you. The Darren Peterson of it all is a big question mark. Does he play 30 minutes to secure a win here? Also, like as you alluded to, this is not a great Kansas team, not that we've seen over the last 15 years, because they lost to WVU. So, I mean, when you have that kind of stain on your resume, it says a lot about you.
Yeah, that's a tough loss right there. And it's like I just having watched Darren Peterson play several games, like I just don't like his brand of facilitating. He's just not a good passer that makes his teammates better. And I feel like you need to have that in your bag in the tournament because they're going to run defensive schemes at you that are going to ruffle your feathers. And if you're not good at finding guys in basic passing situations, like the dude has the ball in his hands for the majority of the game and doesn't even average 2 dimes a game, and he's a guard. It's like that to me is just a little bit selfish with his offensive attacking. So I think that could be a problem. So yeah, Johnny's. I like it. I like it. I like
Something
it.
that bothered me about him too was when Coach Self did ask him to be an on-ball facilitator. He's a pass to an assist guy, not a pass to get to the other pass to get an assist guy. Like he is passing up better reads, better options for his own stats. And I don't like that. Like now, to be fair, he isn't asked to be that. He's asked to go out and score 20. But when you need to be on the ball like that, when the best player has the ball in his hands, you kind of expect him to make the right play. And I just didn't see that from the facilitating aspect.
Oh yeah. Well, it's like we're not asking you to be Steve Nash out there. It's like just go have maybe a 2.5 assist to turnover ratio, not like a 1. Yeah. So it's just kind of an issue for me. But yeah, so we got Johnny's moving on. Next matchup in the second round in the East, we've got South Florida versus Michigan State.
Spartans.
Yeah, unfortunately for the American tournament champs, this is where their journey ends.
Yep. Tom to the Izzo. All righty. UCLA versus UConn.
Huskies.
I'm gonna put this in your hands again, Rob. I think that UCLA gets the upset here. I think Donovan Dent is on a great run. I think that Mike Cronin's a good coach, despite him being a little hot-headed at times. And this UConn team is not the UConn team that we saw 2 years ago.
Of course not. We have their best player.
Donovan Clingan, I agree. Yeah.
Whoa. We will not accept that slander. Oh man. This is gonna be tough because I do like UCLA, but I do think I'm gonna have to go UConn. I think Hurley's gonna have them.
All right, guys. Well, I gotta go. I got voted out too many times.
Well, hold on a second. Well, I mean, it's we can only have so many upsets, and you honestly, man, UCLA could because I'm not super high on UConn, but I think that they do have a plethora of just good team basketball players. Like they have a wide variety of guys that can get it done. All right. So that is the last second round matchup in the East. Moving on to the South, we've got Florida Clemson.
Florida.
Yep, Florida. Florida. All right. This is very interesting. McNeese, Nebraska.
I like Nebraska.
I don't know. I mean, I could go McNeese over here. I don't know. No, I'm just kidding. Nebraska. I mean, are they going to go from no tournament wins to 2 in a row? I don't know.
I'm really trying not to fly off the handle here. I think that Nebraska is good enough to beat Troy and get their first tournament win for sure. I don't think they're good enough to get 2 in a row because of how bad they've been their last 12. That's why I have McNeese pulling the double upset.
Dude, you know what?
Con in the Sweet 16. Oh my God. Get your popcorn. Yeah, that's what I want.
Bro, I'm gonna have to go McNeese as well. Like I'm kind of on the fence about him, and I would like to see this, but at the same time, I'm not super confident in Nebraska. They're just not a basketball school to me. So I don't think that they're gonna rise to the occasion more than a win over Troy. So I agree with that. All right, we got McNeese advancing over Nebraska. I'm okay with that. Dude. Yeah, that warms my heart right there. All right. Next matchup, we got a little VCU versus Illinois action.
Illinois.
Yeah, same thing I said first round. Illinois is just way too good of shooters.
Yeah. All right, Illinois advancing right there. Okay, interesting matchup. St. Mary's versus Houston. Yeah. Cougs.
Unfortunately for St. Mary's, but yeah, Houston's. I think it's sort of Kelvin Sampson, after making it to the championship game last year, is not going to die out in the second round. It's just not going to happen. Like,
no, and there's multiple guys that have returned from last year that have that experience, and
they add in Kingston Fleming, which is
right. Yeah, that's really, really big, and just such good shooters, tough players. Yeah, Houston moving on there. Arizona, Utah State in this next second round matchup up in the West.
Give me Arizona.
Yeah, as much as I would like for it to be Utah State, it's not happening this time.
Are you sure? I'll hear out a conversation for Utah State. I was kidding.
No, we talked about it earlier. The Big 12 is just the best college basketball conference there is. It's the third best league in the world. I just have so much PTSD from Arizona putting belt to ass on us earlier in the year that it's hard for me to say anything else. Like, yeah, dude, this is I think it's going to be more competitive than what the WVU game was for sure, but I mean, it's not going to be a contest really.
Yeah, that checks out. It would be really hard for me to see Arizona not advancing there. Right. But this next matchup, I'm a little back and forth. A little Wisconsin Arkansas action. What are we thinking here, guys? Are we thinking A Cuff's just going to go off?
I like John Calipari, man. I think whenever you have coin flips, you go to the coach.
Yeah, I do like Calipari in these situations. He does have the tournament experience.
Not to plug too much of my own stuff, I just wrote an article about on slcdunk.com why the Jazz, if given the opportunity, should draft Darius Acuff. So I'm pretty high on him, and I've always been a Calipari guy. So I'll warn you guys now, you're gonna have to talk me off a ledge for the next couple of rounds to keep picking Arkansas, but I'm picking them here.
Oh, that's easy.
I'm all for picking Arkansas right here. I think they're definitely the more talented basketball team. So and when you bring in the coaching factor, that does play huge. All right, next matchup, we got BYU Gonzaga.
Give me the Cougs.
Yeah, I'm going BYU as well.
I want to say the Zags, but I do think that it's AJ Devansta. He's going to average 30 this tournament because there's nobody else to do it.
Yeah. I just think it's all about the star players. And if you're able to just create those kind of mismatches and everyone has to key in on you, and he is a guy that we were talking about earlier. He's a guy that can rebound like crazy, facilitate for others. And he does have that additional motor, like that additional motor element to his game that I feel like will sort of step up a notch when it matters even more. So BYU and Devansa. All right, next matchup, Miami Purdue.
Yeah, I think Purdue's too good to lose here.
Yeah, agreed. Purdue's a good team. All right, and we've got Michigan, St. Louis down in the first or in the second round, Midwest.
Big Blue.
Michigan just has way too much size.
Yeah, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, all things considered. Yeah, that's just a talented Michigan team.
Yeah.
They've got a center rotation of all 7-1 guys. Like at the college level, what are you supposed to do about that?
Pray. All right, we got Michigan moving on in that matchup. Next, we got Texas Tech Hofstra.
Give me Tech.
It's very interesting right here. If Hofstra gets that upset, I think we got to go Tech as a podcast. It'd be strange if we picked Hofstra to upset right here.
Let's just go ahead and pencil in for the national championship. Why don't we?
Okay, we're not that biased.
Yeah, we aren't. But I could reasonably see us beating a 12 and a 13 seed in this scenario. So it's I don't think we're being that outrageous.
Micah Parsons has us going to the Final Four in his bracket. I'm like, bro, calm down.
Well, we
Is he a
don't
tech guy
know.
too?
We don't know where we're going to be in this bracket, so we may get
if
there.
Christian Anderson averages 40 points a game, then we're winning the ship. But I'm not confident he can do that.
No, he's not even averaging 20. So yeah, to double that would be nads. All right. Next matchup, little Tennessee Virginia action.
Give me Virginia.
Yeah, still riding the same sentiment as last round.
Yeah,
way underrated.
Absolutely, I agree. All right, and the last matchup in the second round, we got Santa Clara, Iowa State.
Moving body like a cyclone.
They're gonna beat up Santa Clara all night long.
Yeah, they definitely are.
I think so as well.
I haven't thought about that guy in a decade and a half.
Dude, that's on rotation. What are you talking about?
Yeah, dude, that's a banger. That's staying in the workout playlist for sure. All right. Moving on to the Sweet 16, gents.
Too sweet.
Absolutely. Okay, we got Duke versus the Johnnies.
Duke, just too good.
We're gonna go with the Duke Ellingtons.
I made a video earlier this year that I feel like it's almost destiny for John Shire to win one, especially after the season he had last year. It's been like a gradual ramp up process. And again, legend, love Rick Pitino. I just don't think that he has the firepower to compete with Cam Boozer.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I still don't know if they've solved all their offensive problems from last year, and they just kind of relied on their defense too much. And I feel like that's going to those chickens are going to come home to roost when you go up against an offense as powerful as Duke. So, yeah, this is where the buck stops for the Johnnies for sure. All right, next we got Michigan State, UConn.
I like the Spartans in this matchup.
Tom Izzo in March.
Yeah, I think we're all in agreement right there. Izzo in March. All right, excellent. So that's going to be an exciting.
What are we doing with this next one, Rob?
Florida McNeese.
Triple upset, anybody? Huh?
Ooh, I don't know. Give me Mick. No, I'm just kidding. We got Florida for
to
sure.
to be the champs, you got to beat the champs, and McNeese is not going to beat the champs this one. But I'm definitely going to put $10 on it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. But yeah, that's not going to be a serious $10 because Florida's going to be in the Elite Eight for sure. There's not a strong chance they won't be. Nice. Okay, guys, this is starting to round out nicely. Okay, next round we got Illinois Houston.
Houston.
Yeah, I trust the guard play of Houston a lot more than I do. I mean, Kingston Flemings is pretty streaky as far as I'm concerned, but the cool hand of Emmanuel Sharp, it's really hard to top.
Absolutely, yeah, just really huge.
I think
really big on Houston.
The biggest thing for Houston is they're going to play teams not in the Big 12, and whenever they go against teams who aren't in the Big 12, they're going to have a really hard time trying to guard Kingston Fleming. So I think he's going to have himself a pretty good tournament because in the Big 12, like everyone beats up each other and you're going against, one day you're going against Tech, the next day you're going against Arizona, then you got to fly out to BYU. Like this conference is just stacked, and I'm going to ride Big 12, man. Just heads up.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, it's the best conference on planet Earth. You heard it here first. All right. So moving on to the Sweet 16 matchups in the West, we got Arizona, Arkansas. Ooh.
So
Arizona.
Yeah, I was going to say this is where we're going to have to talk me down because I have them going on a real big run.
You have Arkansas right here?
Yep, I sure do.
I mean, I like the take, but I think I'm going to go Wildcats right here. I've just seen too much evidence from Wildcats. I'm sorry. I've
best team in the best conference. You kind of got to pick them, right?
Someone hasn't seen Darius Acuff hoop recently.
Well, I mean Arkansas didn't win their conference.
They won the tournament.
They didn't win their conference though. Regular season still counts.
Well, I mean, Acuff's hooping. I'm not saying he's not a top 5 guy in NCAA
Bryce
basketball.
James is gonna lock his ass down.
I don't think anyone is gonna lock him down, but it's just can you force him to take some dumb shots? I think they can. So okay, we have Arizona moving on, but some resistance from Austin over there. Okay, I like it. I like it. But moving on to the next game, we got BYU Purdue.
Give me BYU.
Yeah, I think we're on a crash course here for a Big 12 battle.
Yep, I'm all for BYU as well. I'm thinking BYU over Purdue. Makes sense. All right, moving on to the Midwest Sweet 16 matchups. We got Michigan versus Tech.
This is where we jump off the Tech train. Michigan's just way too good and they're way too big, and we don't have anyone that's tall enough to rebound with them. Also, I think the goal just for this season, even with JT Toppin for me, was to get out of the first weekend and then see what happens. And that's, if we end up like this and we get out of the first weekend, it's a win. If we win one game, if we beat Akron and lose the next round, then that's still a win in my opinion too for this Tech team. So house money, jump off at train Michigan.
Yeah, I think I'm going to jump off the train, but then hop on the Texas Tech plane. And then I'm going to, we're going to take, no, I'm just kidding. No, this is where the buck stops for sure. It makes no sense having us beat Michigan. They're just too complete of a team. Yeah, as much as that sucks.
We struggled rebounding with JT Toppin. We are definitely not going to rebound the ball against Michigan.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, I love JT, but he's still an undersized big in a lot of matchups. And he's a great rebounder for his size, for his position. But, yeah, without him, Lawan Watts he's not going to step up and fill that exact void. Absolutely. Next matchup, we got Virginia, Iowa State.
I'll definitely have this one circled on my calendar, but it's really hard for me to go against my Big 12 bias here. So give me Iowa State.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go Iowa State in this one, but I also think that this is going to be last second, maybe 2-3 point kind of a game where, if somebody makes a poor decision late in game, that could end up just being it. So I agree. Circle this game on the calendar for sure. All right. So, hey, we're down into the meat and potatoes of everything. We got Elite 8. All right. So we've got Duke, Michigan State.
Duke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Duke.
Yeah, it's Duke. Guys, it's Duke, right? I mean,
like concrete Dookie in the booth dropping that hard shit.
Yeah, I mean, it has to be. It has to be, right? I mean, gosh, dang it, it's got to be. I mean, Tom Izzo can only coach his way out of so many situations, and that's just too good of a basketball team.
Yeah, when you go coach for coach, and then you have talent that can match your counters, it's tough. So Duke.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, we got Duke moving on. They will be representing the East. All right, in the South, Florida, Houston. I'm gonna say,
give me Houston.
I was about to say, give me Houston as well.
Yeah, this is Florida had a great run, but like I said earlier, Walter Clayton Jr. is not walking through that door to save this team.
Agreed. Hey, there we go. Coming to a consensus for Final Four teams. I like it. All right. And then moving on. This is going to be interesting. The West, Arizona, BYU.
Give me Zona.
Man, the run's going to have to stop for AJ at some point.
I think it's Zona. The only thing is BYU lost to Zona twice before the tournament. So I wonder if they get that game back, but I don't know if they're going to get it back in the Elite Eight. So give me Arizona.
Yeah, I think Zona's the safe bet, but man, I think BYU could realistically win this game.
Yeah, dude. It wouldn't surprise me if AJ DeBanza has like a triple double to take him to the Final Four.
Yeah. All right, but Arizona, we got you moving on. All right, and then we got Iowa State, Michigan.
This is where my Big 12 also goes a little to the side, and I'm actually going to go Michigan.
I think I'm going to go Iowa State. I think I'm still going to go hard Big 12. I've watched more Iowa State basketball than Michigan basketball this season, and this Iowa State team they are the real deal.
Fair.
Yeah, I think my Missoula ball may be infiltrating this a little bit, but I think that if they can maintain just like their average shooting, that they're going to be able to oust this Michigan team.
Cool.
I couldn't agree more. All right, we got Iowa State advancing. All right, so Final Four matchups: Duke, Houston,
1-2.
Yeah,
Nice.
1-2. I don't hate it. All right, so Duke versus Houston. What's happening?
Yeah, Austin, what's happening? Because I have no idea.
I think that Houston is probably roster for roster a better team. Not by much, but I think they are a better team. The problem is that Houston doesn't have a Cam Boozer. I think that there's been a lot of weird chatter about Cam Boozer, like questioning if he's just going to be a super Al Horford in the league, which he's clearly not going to be. When you have someone that's that good at the college level, where it looks like a man amongst boys, I think it's really hard to pick against him. So give me Duke here.
Yeah, I think I'm in the same boat. Yeah, the Stars make this tournament, and he just creates too many mismatches. I think that they're going to be able to capitalize on, and yeah,
there are times when Houston can't score, and that worries me. So yeah. I'm jumping with you guys, Duke.
All right, so we've got Duke in the final against Arizona or Iowa State.
Best team, best conference. Give me Zona.
Yeah, I think so as well. This has got to be the Wildcats. I just can't see Iowa State. I just can't see Iowa State winning this realistically. I mean, I almost struggled to have them beating Michigan, but definitely not Arizona. How are you feeling about this one, Austin?
Yeah, I'm totally fine with that. Absolutely.
All right. And so in the championship game, 1-1, Duke, Arizona, what the hell is happening, guys?
Well, I'm having a great day, April 6th, if this is the matchup. I'll tell you what, I'll be to the moon if this is what it is. So, but I am going to go with Arizona. It's been too long since we've had someone, west of Baylor, win a championship. So I think this is the year where that gets broken, and give me Arizona. They're that good.
I just think the coaching combination of Shire and then just the elite play from Cam Boozer, like that to me is what the tournament's all about. And the 3-point shooting that Duke gives you, the fact that they have multiple options that are ready and guys that they can rely on outside of Boozer as well. And so oh my goodness, it's really tough for me to not go Arizona, but I'm going Duke.
Kind of the similar situation for the last matchup. I think that Arizona roster for roster has a better team. Braden Burries, Koa Pete, like they have a good roster, but none of them are touching Cam Boozer. And like I alluded to earlier, I kind of feel like it's destiny for John Shire to eventually get his first title. I think this is the year.
Fair.
All right, so we got Duke over Arizona in the final. How many points are going to be in this game?
124.
That's it? Okay. 124.
Who doesn't love a 65-62 game?
Exactly. No, maybe not. Maybe it should be a little higher.
I think it's gonna be something in the like maybe in the 150s. I don't know. I would like it to be, but yeah,
I had mine
anything
written
one.
down in the 140s.
Yeah, I think 150s would be unrealistically good offense. Yeah, but 140s makes sense. All right.
148.
I like it. First thought, best thought. 148. We're doing it. All right. And that's the bracket. Well, bam.
How confident are we?
Um,
I think
not
we got them all right.
yeah, I think we got every single pick right.
Especially the one with Arizona and Arkansas, for sure.
Yes. Absolutely. But there's just so much to break down, so much craziness that the tournament provides. It's hard to be right, but we know it's damn near impossible. So yeah, we'll see how correct we are, but you know what? We would be able to go ahead and go against our fellow in the building podcast members, but they decided to not do a group this year because they didn't want to get beat by us again. So
Again, times 2.
yeah, again. But yeah, pretty good bracket, guys. I love it. Anything that you guys want to touch on before we dive into some dunks and some other shenanigans?
Nope. This is great. It took an hour, 5 minutes. I'm happy with that.
Yeah, you got to break down all the games to a certain degree, but yeah, I like it as well. Anything you want to touch on, Austin?
The mid majors matter. Don't let the national media tell you otherwise.
I agree. The mid majors are the lifeblood of college basketball for sure.
Yeah, mid majors are not mid. Absolutely. So, moving on, I do just have a tiny little bit of trivia. Can I ask you guys a random question?
Yes.
Always damn.
All right. Who owns the record for most points in a single NCAA tournament run?
So probably someone that had to play most of the games.
Is it Zach Edey?
It is not Zach Edey.
Is it someone
yes.
recently?
No, it is not recent. Think about around the time we were born. And I'm going to give you this hint. An elite shooter in the NBA. 3-point shooter ahead of his time.
Yep. First person that came to mind is Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf.
Oh,
or Chris Jackson, as he was known at the time.
Think about 90s 3-point shooters in the league.
Was he always a shooter?
Is it Reggie?
Yes. No, it wasn't Reggie. Yes, he was pretty much always known as a sharpshooter. I mean, he could do other things, but in the league, he was definitely always known as a 3-point sniper. Really, really good. Couple years, he got some MVP votes. Was a good player. His scoring high in the league was over 26 a game.
Oh my God, it's elite scorer.
Yep.
Early 90s. I'm trying to think of people who went like in that time.
Can we get the conference as a hint? Where he went to school?
He went to Michigan.
Okay.
Oh, is it Juwan Howard? No.
It's not Juwan Howard.
Was he part of the Fab Five?
I can't say. No, I'm just kidding. All right. I mean, you guys give up?
Yeah, I think I'm tapped out.
A little Glenn Rice action.
Oh,
Glenn Rice.
In 1989, had 184 points all throughout the tournament, averaging over 30 a game for 6 games. Like, Jesus Christ, he went on a heater. That's absolutely nuts. And then finished tournament player of the year. So that's just
shout out to Glenn Rice.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I was trying to drop some hints without giving away too much, and I was like, maybe they'll get that like '90s sharpshooter kind of, way ahead of his time, and he's definitely one of the first guys I think of when I think of '90s sharpshooters for sure. Um, but yeah, a little NCAA tournament action for you. Uh, you got a blind rank for us, AJ, or are we trying to get up out of
I
here?
I do not. I figured this was going to be a
You're
long
right.
episode.
You you right, my friend. Do we have any dunks?
Oh, I've got one.
Yeah, Austin, go
Let's
first.
let's cock back and dunk that, my friend.
So this is more of a general blanket statement, but I am going to hone all of my vitriol to one person in particular. If you are a coach in NCAA basketball, you have an obligation to your seniors to play as much basketball as you possibly can, because the whole tagline for the NCAA is that 99% of our athletes are going to go pro in something else. I want to
Right.
dunk specifically on Darren DeVries and the Indiana Hoosiers because he has 6 seniors on his team, including his son, who are never going to play high level basketball ever again. And because they had a mediocre run this year in college basketball, they declined all postseason tournaments. Soft as baby shit. Do better. You cannot let this is literally the last time that at least 5 of them are going to play high level basketball ever again, and you're gonna throw
Crazy.
a hissy fit because you went 18-14 and sub 500 in conference play. Horseshit.
Yeah. I mean, the NIT is still a tournament. Like you still go out there and play games that, they're competitive. So to deprive your seniors of that is very dunk worthy. Absolutely.
Rob, you got one?
Well, I was just gonna dunk on Aiden Holloway. I mean, it's just getting arrested for that amount of weed, and not only over 2 pounds, but just a bunch of codeine, promethazine as well, and it all happens 2 days before the tournament starts. I don't think I've ever heard of a story like this that takes out a star player on a team that wasn't
Had high
necessarily
hopes.
right. Like they weren't one of the best teams, but people definitely, I saw some brackets and people talking about Elite Eight, Sweet 16s. And so it's like, they had this team winning 2 or 3 games. And so
Yeah,
you really shoot yourself in the foot when this happens a couple of days before the tournament. So
for
he
sure.
dunked on himself. Just find a better place to keep your weed.
For real. I agree. Well, I'm going to dunk on Alex Caruso. Did you guys see this play yesterday?
With his shoe.
His shoe. He tried to block a ball with his shoe, like a Mexican mother. Like, what are you doing, guy? Like, this is like I don't know what he. And then the refs were like, "Wait, hold on, timeout, whistle. Did you just try and block the ball with his shoe?" And
He
he
was
got technical foul
successful.
for it.
He was successful. He hit the ball. He swung that chancla.
Like, my God, dude, like that. I've seen a lot of crazy stuff in the NBA. I don't think I've seen that one yet. Especially when it comes to shoes, typically like the opposing team throws it, to the side or something like that. But I've never seen it being used as a defensive mechanism. Maybe people could start using that against Wemby. We'll see.
Oh yeah, it reminds me of that line from Happy Gilmore where he's like, "I'm the only guy that took off my skate and tried to stab somebody." And I was like, "Oh, dude, that's Caruso vibes right there. I like it. I like it." But
Yeah.
that's a worthy dunk. Absolutely. But yeah, I mean, we've been talking about an NCAA tournament for a while now. Let's get on up out of here. Everybody, if you are still here listening to the podcast after the full NCAA tournament breakdown and listening to us get mad about March Madness, then we certainly appreciate you. We not only love you, but we love you hard over here. All this is brought to you by Love You Hard TV and the wonderful people over at the In the Building podcast. Shout out to Mike, Rudy, Jose, and everyone over at In the Building. Make sure you're following them, but make sure you're following us over here at the Baseline Bums. We got a lot of great content coming out, a lot of great Spurs post game episodes, and also a lot of March Madness stuff on the way as that starts tomorrow.
Yep.
But also make sure you're following our guest Austin at Roundball Renaissance, doing a lot of great content over there. everything from player breakdowns, the Nomad series, just absolute great stuff over there. Make sure you're following Roundball Renaissance, not only on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, everywhere. He's putting out great content. Make sure you are doing that, everybody. But that being said, let's end this episode, get off here, and end this episode the same way we end all episodes. And that's with a go
Go
Spurs.
Spurs.
A go.
Go.